Hello and welcome to Zelda Speedruns. Today we show you another qualifier race of the Breath of the Wild Any Percent tournament. This is Qualification Race 4, and commentators for this will be Crazy AZ and CBF. Say hello.
Hello everyone. Hope you're all having a great morning here, or wherever it is in your time zone.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever it is you are in the world, but welcome in to another Any Percent. Yeah, imagine it not being morning. Yes, but yeah, I'm CBF. Nice to see everyone. Welcome in. Hopefully you have your coffees and your nice toasted breads to enjoy. Yeah,
we're looking forward to another exciting set of qualifier races. I'm doing well, thank you. Yeah,
nice. Yeah, I'm super excited. Last night's race was insane, though. We had, I think it was like 18 people in total.
Yeah, very, very high turnout for that. Very excited to see. I believe we have, how many did we say here? We have 10 runners now doing this race, and we're going to be starting any minute now, or any second now.
Yeah. And just so we can sound off their names, we have Roko, Senor Tapir, Smitch, Harmyan, Altexo, Lumina, Coency, Storewide, Prahaha, and Rethrix. So it's gonna be good.
Yep. On screen here we see Prahaha, Smitch, Coency, and Roko. And the races are off. So the first thing that you might notice if you're new to Breath of the Wild speedruns is that all of our runners are playing in French. French is the fastest language for the Any Percent category specifically. The speed of different languages is determined in Breath of the Wild by which cutscenes play, because the voice acting determines the length of the cutscene. And so for the cutscenes we see in Any Percent, the fastest is French.
Correct. And the fastest is European French, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
This is true. There's a 10-frame difference between European French and Canadian French, depending on which region you're set to. And you can actually tell which one people are on here by whether the word Chica is capitalized. So you'll see we have, it looks like Prahaha is the only one running Canadian French. The other three are on European French.
I switched my Switch to that and then could not re-download my game, so I had to switch back to a US server.
Interesting.
So now I'm 10 frames slower. Pepe hands.
Giving up that sweet time save. Well, so we see everyone grabbing the Sheikah slate here, and it will help us perform the first glitch, the scope clip out of the Shrine of Resurrection.
Yeah, Roko not too far behind. Praha having some issues, unfortunately.
We do this scope clip in order to get out of the Shrine of Resurrection and not have to watch some lengthy opening cutscenes that we would normally need to see if we went out the normal entrance that the game intends. Another side benefit of this is that the time does not change. The time and weather cycle wait until after the opening cutscene. So by not getting that opening cutscene, there is no weather and time does not move forward.
That is correct. And it looks like Roko is going for Boko Shield. Ooh,
yeah.
All right.
Very cool.
Love it. I think at this point, like all four of these qualifiers that we've had folks who have run Boko Shield, if I'm not mistaken. P5's done it. Tay has done it. Roko has now done it, and I forgot who the other person was at this point.
So for those of you a little less familiar with what's going on here, one of the biggest items that we need for the major glitches in this game is a shield. And the fastest one that you can get, the fastest shield that you can get is the pot lid, which 3 of our runners got. But if you delay getting your shield and wait till this first Boko camp here, you can get a Boko shield that ultimately saves about 7 seconds at the risk of, the Bokos are sometimes less friendly to you.
For lack of a better
you
way
could die.
Dying. But yeah, no, as we can see, Roko thankfully being able to get the Boko shield with little to no trouble, which is nice.
Yep.
And
so in this first split, everyone's just going to be picking up sort of all the tools they need for the first half of the game. We get a shield, which is going to help us do a shield clip right here into the shrine. You get an axe, which we mainly use for the purposes of aiming. And a bow and some arrows, which are going to be useful for the glitch coming up after the shrine.
I can see having some issues with there we go, getting into the shrine. Right. Just like that. Go ahead.
Yep. So because we don't activate the tower like the game tells you to, these shrines cannot be activated, and we're not able to go through the front door. And so instead need to clip through them using a shield clip.
Yeah, and Lou alluded to this yesterday, but essentially what we do is we get what we call skew. The shield remembers Link's angle when it lands, so then we're able to use that particular angle to get into the shrines. Yes. Oh, I love those. The throw animation to cancel the actual Sheikah animation, which is super helpful. It saves you 1 to 2 frames, I think is what it is. But super helpful if you're trying to go speedy like Roko and Smitch.
Pretty cool swag strat.
Yeah.
And we are finishing up the Stasis Shrine here.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Okay. People comfy. Love it. And
Praha missing the jump there.
I was gonna mention it and then didn't, and now I'm glad I didn't, because now I can't feel guilty. But yeah, unfortunate.
That jump is certainly a little tricky.
Yeah.
It's the timing of the second jump is somewhat precise in order to make sure you get enough distance.
Yeah. So it's a jump, and then you delay the actual shield jump midair, and then unequip. But it's much more difficult than what it looks like.
Yeah. There he goes. Getting in on the second try.
Got it. All right. Now let's see if we're going to see some scans after cryo, or folks going to wait until they do the boulder ride, which is what some folks end up doing, right?
So in most cases, people in this tournament are not going to be running Amiibo. The Amiibo really is just makes the run faster. It used to cut out RNG. Now there's less RNG in the no Amiibo route, but it's definitely just not as popular. Almost anyone who's running the game seriously runs with Amiibos. And it looks like we're getting a lot of Amiibo scans here.
Love it. After 2 scans for Roko, and it looks like Smitch as well. After what looked like 3.
Yep. So they're looking for Mighty Porgies and Mighty Carp in order to help build an attack up potion that we need later for the boss rush.
Correct. And then Praha or Coency getting their fish as well. Love it.
And we see Roko and Smitch going on over to do their first bullet time bounce of the run. This is the major movement mechanic for any percent runs. It involves landing on top of an enemy with your shield while in bullet time from the bow. And if you can get the enemy to ragdoll when you hit it, then the Link is propelled off of the enemy at normal speeds, and then by exiting bullet time, things get sped up by 20 times and it sends us flying.
Yes. Love it. And
hey,
while that's
good first try
happening,
BTBs by everyone on our screen.
yeah. And then we had a good ESC into the Cryonic Shrine by Roko first try, unbuffered. Smitch having a little trouble, and Quincy also getting it the first try. So now we're just waiting on Prama. ESC,
Yep.
maybe?
Oh, everyone's going for ESC. Oh,
Oh,
little throw of the axe there.
just to make sure the door opens. That's RNG manip. Door angie.
This is just an alternate way of clipping into the shrine. All of the shrines is possible to do this ESC or extended shield clip into. Cryonis is the only one where it's really popular because it's where it saves the most time.
Yeah, and Roko is just flying through these shrines right now. I love it.
Yeah.
You tell
Roko is
that
doing
practice
great.
is paying off. Smitch getting bopped a little, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
There we
But
go.
Mitch got the cryo wall jump, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, cool swag strat.
That was coming out. Wasn't that coming out as like a really truly new strat at the time of last tournament? I think it came out.
It was like at the end of the actual tournament, if I'm not mistaken.
And at that point, everyone thought it was just like impractical and no one was going to actually go for it. And now people are like, hey, saving 3 seconds is saving 3 seconds. So people actually do it.
Yeah, shoot. Ooh, it looks like Ro getting a low angle there.
Yeah, you saw
Didn't see
him
if people had
offer the
gone
shield
full.
to try and get a fast cancel. Or has to pull out of the bullet time bounce a bit early than he would like to, though, due to the lower angle.
Oh, and Smitch getting forest angle there.
Yes, Mitch is going to go too high, and so he's also going to fall a little short of the ideal. Ooh, my Consi with an even lower angle.
Gosh.
All right.
All right.
Mag BTB is, I think most people would agree that it is the hardest of these BTBs on Plateau. Once you're at a high level, the frame for bullet time activation in order to get the ideal angle all the way to the shrine is pretty tight.
Yeah. And some would say it's actually more difficult than Castle BTB at this point. Especially
I think...
or Coency, sorry.
I think that's pretty preference-based.
Yeah.
I personally think even though it's maybe equally as precise as Castle BTB, the visual cues I find are a little more...
Convenient.
there are better visual cues for it, which make it easier to be consistent on than Castle BTB. But I think that you could definitely argue that, and that would just be a personal preference thing.
Getting a good angle. Nice, nice. And I think that's the beauty of speedrunning this game. That's the beauty of this game in particular. Is like any given trick or movement can shift how quickly you go from the front of the line to the back of the line. It's wild to think.
Yeah, I mean, all of our runners are so tight that 40 seconds lost on a BTB not going so great, or really will just like shift it. Hey, and Consi manages to get an unloaded shrine there. That's the payoff that you can potentially get from a really good angle. We can reach the shrine faster than it can load in the door to keep us out. And that saves a solid, I don't know, like 7 seconds or so, not having to do the whole clip.
I think it's a little more than that, but yeah, I think like preference based during a PB, it's fantastic if you get it. But then you're running against unloaded door, which is unfortunate for the remainder.
No, it's always when you get a PB with it and then you encounter that split and you're just like, well, we're gonna lose time here because we have no way of getting it consistently right now. So it's
you
just
get
sort of
the first one, but then the next one you're just like, oh god, why?
Yep.
All right, box walk for
Roko going for a box walk here.
It's the arrow. Good. You always want to grab that arrow if you're only on.
He didn't quite walk fast enough. That box rotates, and so you need to walk backwards on it in order to not have it hit you. Yeah. Roko got hit, and so he's gonna have to heal up at the next shrine in order to survive the wind bomb.
Yeah, and the luxury is that Roko better. So now Roko has food.
This is true. Oh, Smitch also having some issues with the box walk. In this case, Smitch walked too fast. So See if someone can hit the Goldilocks speed there and stay on for the whole ride.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Roko clipping into bombs. Oh, Mitch getting blocked by the Boko with the archer
Oh my
hitting
gosh.
him midair. That's
that-
likely gonna result in some
That guy's the
having to
pain in
run the
the
rest of the way. Oh, okay. So we see Consi going for the alternate, safer but slightly slower strat of the slab launch. It doesn't
go.
require the backwards walking that the box walk does.
And
And
we
we
do
see
have
Praha
doing
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, going with the BLSS, which is the latest glitch to be found in Breath of the Wild. It's pretty cool. As you can see, they are floating through the air. And this is a really cool movement tech because you can go as far as you want. There's no, you never lose height with it. It doesn't use stamina. And so you can just fly as far as you need.
Oh, Siberian. Yeah, so and please remind me, bow lift smuggle or something like that. I forget what the
So
acronym is.
BLSS stands for bow lift smuggle slide.
There you go.
And the idea is that you are doing a bow smuggle in order to hold an object. This is commonly a bomb, because it's an item that Link can just drop whenever he wants, but our runners don't have bombs yet. They're getting them right now. So probably use the barrel by smuggling the bow and picking up an item, and then doing some other fun, like, unequip things to confuse the game. We can get the item stuck to Link's hand, and if you make him do a step up animation, to the best of our knowledge, basically the object stuck to Link's hand ends up being stuck inside Link during this step up animation, and the hitboxes sort of collide and have this interaction that allows you to just float infinitely. Praha going for Gimmerwind Bomb and not getting it.
We've been trying to figure out a different name for it, but BLSS just kind of is what we're gonna stick with for now. Ooh, Praha really having issues with this wind bomb. Tried gamer. The bomb drops were a little sus for that, but gonna need to go casual for this one, unfortunately.
Roko failed the first wind bomb to trees and got the cutscene and decided to try again. All right, succeeds on the second attempt.
Nice, nice.
Man, Bomb Shrine giving all of our runners some issues.
Those sussy bakas. Oh,
Consi getting the gamer wind bomb.
Gaming. All right, and then we got Roko at tree.
Roko is going to be our first to get the paraglider, which basically marks the end of the tutorial section for this game. And afterwards, all of our runners are just going to go straight to the castle to finish it off.
Yeah.
Right. Roko coming in with a 1642 plateau. It's worth noting that the timing for these races is a little different from the timing for our leaderboard. On our leaderboard, timing starts not at new game, but when we first gain control of Link. For the tournament and for ease of starting everyone at the same time, we do start at new game. And so if you want to compare these times to the leaderboard, you need to subtract 1 minute 7 seconds.
And it looks like Roko's going for BLSS to castle.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, that's a new spot that I haven't seen before. That's cool.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of different folks use those broken pieces of concrete that are near that. Yeah, what is that BLS spot? We wish we knew, Tao. We wish we knew. But yeah, I think this is the first. No, we've seen somebody else also do it, but using Lumina's backup strat, where you find a spot below where the Boko is if you don't get the actual angle. That was a tiny piece of roof to try and get the BLSS from.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So the real tricky thing with BLSS that we don't quite have all the way figured out is just creating the right step-up animation requires interesting ground geometry that isn't always consistent in how it behaves. So
Correct.
finding the spots that are the best for performing it at is still definitely an open question. I think people are experimenting with a bunch of different places.
Yeah,
Um,
that and trying to maintain speed without speed capping is
yeah.
one of the other larger issues that we keep coming across. Where
hmm
similar to a speed cap, Link will just simply stop moving midair. But as we see Roko getting unloaded door,
Yep. Roku manages to get into the castle. Um,
problem free for the most part. Love it.
yep. And so now he's going to go about his way collecting all the weapons needed for the boss rush.
Yep. And Smitch getting in behind. It looked like Smitch's BTB was a bit slower, but still made it with minimal issues. Just needed a pump.
He's looking good, yeah. And he's also going to get in before the gate loads.
I swear every time I see one of those loads happen right in front of the gate, I have a mini panic attack. I don't know how
That
many the gate.
yeah, so if the gate loads in there, the options for backing it up are pretty suboptimal. There's no great options for backing it up, and it's really just RNG on the loads. Most of the time it's nice, but occasionally you'll get done dirty by the loads.
Praha.
Praha also doing the BLSS, in this
Yeah,
case with the
unfortunately,
pot.
did not get the BTB, but using the pot, which is a bit more difficult, I would say personally. I'm not a big pot fan.
hmm
It's-
Yeah,
it
so I think this is something that we're
goes down.
likely to see a lot of as the tournament goes on, is people using the BLSS as a backup.
Mhm.
It turns out that the options for doing it from the top of the tower are not as good as the things people have found down below. And
Yeah.
so attempting the BTB once as your way to get down, and then rather than reloading if you fail, going to the BLSS from the ground seems to be a pretty popular strat that's really just come up in like less than the last week. Like, it's
Yeah.
very recent.
Yeah. For those of you who joined us last year, this is actually the new route. I don't like pot, no. No, so as we see Roko actually going out of bounds to get these two wind bombs that'll happen to get up to Zelda Study to grab the last two items that are necessary for this boss rush, which are the Edge of Duality and the Royal Guard's Bow. So we see this Moblin, knocks it out. Bam, give me this, please. Gracias. Grab our items.
Mm-hmm.
And then we head up.
So all in all, the things that we're collecting in Castle are a Royal Claymore, a Royal Guard's Claymore, the Trilizal Boomerang, an Edge of Duality, the Royal Guard's Bow, and we also cook a potion of Attack Up, which will help get through the fights.
Yeah, Quincy unfortunately bombing himself trying to bomb the wall to grab the ancient arrows that we grabbed for the
That's
Calamity
rough.
Cup. It's always unfortunate. But I did notice that Roko ended up grabbing, I think it's a claw, is that right, under the staircase to get extra time for the boss rush.
Yes,
So
yeah.
now
So
have 8 minutes for that particular fight.
Definitely one of the safety strats that I think we'll see people doing more in these races is going to grab that Fang, which just significantly ups the potion time, or I guess the attack up food time.
A Fang, thank you, Piston.
Yep. Because without it, the fight timing can be a little tight. It's definitely doable, and people going for fast PBs are not going to go for the Fang because they can do it in the short amount of time. But for a race setting, that Fang really just gives sort of leniency that if anything goes wrong in the fights, you'll still be able to finish them, even if a little slower.
Yeah, some of the things that I've seen other folks do is they grab the extra fish, the hardy fish, to cook. Since we can't grab any of the the hardy truffles that we typically would in dining hall to cook up for those extra hearts. So folks have been grabbing extra fish just for that same purpose.
Yeah. Praha actually did not go for the Fang, but the 350-minute timer should be fine for the fights, assuming no really bad RNG or anything like that.
Yeah.
All of our runners here staying pretty close, and I mean, this boss rush here is really the final test of the match. They, they are not easy by any means. These runners have obviously practiced these fights a lot in order to try and get consistent at them, but it is still something that people fail all the time. And unfortunately, dying in them is about the most punishing thing you can mess up in this game.
And it varies from runner to runner as well in regard to how much time you end up losing, which is the unfortunate piece. Okay, Rocco doing a good job. Hopefully getting the one cycle. No, unfortunate. Getting that Fire Blight second phase one cycle is very, very difficult sometimes to try and get him in the right position, get the double hits. Smitch setting up for that as well right now. All right. And even with Force Angle, Smitch has been able to close that gap between he and Rocco here.
Yeah, the first strike castle BTB really helps on that. And yeah,
beautiful.
Both of them now on Thunderblight.
Yeah. Let's hope that Cohen's gets Windblight skip. Rocco getting some jumps in. Love it. Alright. And it looks like Rocco has 2 extra arrows?
It's quite possible. And with that, he will be on to Calamity.
Yeah.
The last big test of this run.
Yep. Smitch making his way as well. Also,
with
Smitch
also have extra arrows. Yeah.
Wonder where we grabbed the extra one.
I think Smitch might have gotten them from Bomb's BTB, where the Boko hit his shield.
Oh, a few times, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
So our runners have a pretty tight script that they stick to for all of these fights, but in particular for this Calamity one, there's the optimal sequence of different hits. Ooh.
Calamity giving Rocco really weird RNG from what it looks like. Did not shoot a laser at him at all, and now he has to rush again. Now going to wall.
Yeah, this is okay.
What?
Yeah, Rocco is definitely going to need to be doing some backups here. He is off the script, but this is part of why you go with that Fang, is in order to have the extra time in case something like this happens. Smitch, on the other hand, seems to be pulling off this fight
very well,
as expected. Yep. Manages to finish off the first phase with his bow entirely used up.
Yeah.
Owen gets the instant laser. Ganon misses. Luckily, he'll get a second shot at it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Ganon sometimes just misses there.
Yeah. And Rocco getting some issues here with Calamity Phase 1 still.
Yeah, the arrow shots just did not go well for Rocco.
Yeah. Oh, the early parry.
Both of our front runners having some issues with parries, but it looks like Smitch now has it. Managed to get a wall parry.
Yep.
And
there's now just a matter of spin to win.
Yep.
To go. Rocco hopefully being able
to stun lock the whole time. All right, Rocco does manage to move on to phase 2.
Yeah. Look at Calamity is just not a fan of Rocco's. How dare you finish Plat so quickly?
But it looks like Rocco has now also entered the stun lock, and as Smitch makes it onto Dark Beast.
It's the throw. Alright, and on to Dark Beast. I wonder if we'll see some pre-fires with Smitch. Do you know if Smitch has been practicing any pre-fires?
I could not say for certain. We will see. So one of the cool little side benefits of the latest castle route is that we use up our bow durability so perfectly that you can enter the Dark Beast fight without a bow equipped, and that means that the bow of light will automatically be equipped when you run into it.
Mhm.
And so you don't have to spend any menu time switching to the bow. And as a result, we can time when the targets will show up perfectly with the music.
Yep.
And so some runners have been practicing the audio cues. Looks like Smitch just sort of waited there. That wasn't really a pre-fire, but he was aware of when it was going to come up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Looks like Coency gets the parry. Missed the first one and his shield broke, but it's the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Also missing that
Braz
first.
Yeah, dealing with some uncooperative Ganon.
Yeah, all of our runners are finishing relatively close to each other.
Yeah, we're going to have a tight group of finishes here.
Yeah. All right. Relatively no issues for Smitch. Really good run. Plat was good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, biggest thing was forest angle and some shenanigans at the bombs BTB and box walk. But it seemed like he recovered really well from that, so awesome to see from him.
I'm a little nervous for Praha, just based on the amount of
that attack up timer is going to be very tight, but I think it should be doable. Starting the second phase with 50 seconds should be fine.
Yeah.
Assuming Ganon doesn't. If Ganon goes straight to the wall, maybe you'd have trouble.
Yeah.
No. That's probably not what they intended.
No.
Unless they think they need to get more hits in. I'm a little confused there, but hopefully they know what they're doing.
For the finish.
And GG's to Smitch for finishing first in this qualifier with a 30.04.
Yeah, casual. What would that be? A 29 or 28?
It'd be a 28. It'd be a high 28, 28.57 on our leaderboard, which is a very good time.
Yeah, cheeky. I see you, Smitch.
And Roko is going to be finishing up here any second now too.
Yep.
Praha is gonna. It's gonna be a task to get through this now. Hopefully they can do it.
Thank you, Siberian. All right.
Mm-hmm.
We have a few more finishes coming up right now as well. Roko with second place.
Roko just finishes well. Awesome.
We've got Lumen and Storewide now.
Lumen and Storewide coming on, yeah.
Harmyon.
GG's for finishing. And Praha does not make it through. That was a rough set of fights.
And Praha has forfeited, unfortunately.
It's a shame, but those fights were rough. Good job taking a good stab at it.
GG's Altexo.
Mm-hmm. Everyone coming in here now. GG's to all.
Oof. All right. Then we still have Lumina wrapping up here. Same with Storewide. Rethrix.
Mm-hmm.
Frozen on my screen. Oh, there we go. Source.
Rethrix, it appears, is doing one of the older no amiibo routes.
Interesting.
Which is cool to see. This was the route that was being run popularly last tournament.
Show old route.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So something interesting. Looks like Rethrix is.
They have forfeited as well, unfortunately.
As well, unfortunate. It's something interesting that I ended up night mode. Something interesting that I found out. GG's Coency. That Lulu Core mentioned was if Link is still in that ragdoll state and the Guardian hits with the laser, it actually won't kill Link. So Rethrix would have been able to survive that if not getting up. But GG's attempts. GG's Coency, Lumina, and Storewide will more than likely finish relatively close to each other.
Yeah, does look like they'll. Yep. Lumina being slightly ahead on there.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe those are our last two runners. We had a very fast field today, actually.
Yeah. GG to all. If folks want to hop in for interviews, please feel free to do so.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey. Who do we have joining us here?
Welcome
in,
in.
Altexo. Welcome in.
ONC and Prahaha. Welcome
Praha.
in.
Hi everyone.
How are you all feeling?
GG.
GG's on good races.
Thank you.
How are you all feeling about your runs today?
Oh. Wasn't like that really. Just I got to show bombs DLSS after everybody with it.
Yeah, you did. That was awesome to see.
Yeah.
Definitely feels
And you
Welcome in, Roko.
pulled off the BLSS back up to castle really well as well.
And it feels bad to die to Ganon fire, but you know, sometimes that's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. You still go, okay.
All right. GG's to Lumina as well.
GG Lumina.
GG.
Yeah.
Welcome in, Roko.
Welcome in. GG's Roko.
Thank you, thank you.
How'd
It
you
looked
feel
like
about your
Calamity
race?
was giving you a real hard time there, friend.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely was. I know. There was a bit of trolling.
Yeah.
Oh, Storwood taking it out on the horse.
Yeah, that.
Oh,
yeah,
the horse is
that
gonna get away.
sometimes-
Good job, horse.
Sometimes you gotta
GG's a
sacrifice.
store wide.
GG's.
And that's
All
everyone.
right. Some casual what is this? Yeah, some 30s. I love it. I think last year we had like folks finishing like 38s and 40s. Nice to see all of the progression from everyone.
Absolutely.
Congrats, y'all. Yeah. Anything of note that you all want to kind of talk about in terms of your races?
Yeah. So, should I start?
Go for it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
after not finishing my Q1, I was pretty happy to get a race like this today. For sure, not a perfect run. But to be fair, I think I lost over a minute to amiibo scans.
Oh.
I think I had to scan 10 amiibos.
Wow.
Like
That's brutal.
5 and didn't get the fish, and then reload and another 5. But after all, it was a pretty fun run, and I think overall there was nothing that really like was completely bad or like was trolled. So I'm pretty happy, I guess.
Yeah, it's awesome. You had a great time.
You know who didn't have a great time?
Aww.
Your
Welcome
boy.
in, Lumina.
He's here. No, I don't know what it is with races, dude. My hands get really cold and I just can't pull off a lot of the tricks. Something I got to figure
Yeah,
out.
Rough. GG's on finishing.
It's
Yeah,
another
GG's on-
mediocre run, but if I want to make a splash in this tournament, I got to do better than this.
For sure.
Appreciate that.
Totally makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like a high 18-minute plat. I failed Windblight skip, otherwise the late game wasn't too bad.
Cool. Yeah, it looked like you finished pretty strong.
Yeah. I mean, I knocked the lamb, yeah. I don't know what went wrong in Clam, I just forgot what I was doing at the start of it, and I just didn't go for the headshot straight away with the Ancient Arrow, which meant that it was all out of whack. I just kind of stood there. It was a bit of a mess, but we got through it. The fact that I didn't get hit by a laser in that situation means it could have gone worse.
True. Yeah. Yeah, it's how these race runs go, right? You don't get to reset till you get a good one. You just gotta push through with what you're able to put down right then.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna no reset the first 3 for sure.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because, like, there's no way I can guarantee the 4th or 5th will be any better, so I'm just gonna try and not DNF. Unless I don't know, if it's going towards, like, 2 hours, I think maybe at that point I'll DNF. But hopefully that won't happen. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think the restream might cut you off at that point.
I'm gonna knock on wood for you for that and hope that it doesn't happen.
Surely not, right? There's no way I've just jinxed it.
I have a question for Roko. We were noting a different BLSS spot to castle than we'd seen
yeah.
off of anyone else. You want to give your thoughts on that?
Yeah, right. So I do the BLSS to EMS originally,
Mm.
and I was looking for for a quick spot because I didn't like the one at the roof in the window because it was quite inconsistent for me. But so I went looking for a different one. So I found that tiny spot on the roof, and that was giving me consistent results. I did miss it once, so in the race, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So that's the
That's
spot
why.
you used for EMS that you've adapted for any percent as well.
Yeah,
Cool. Yeah,
and it worked out. So
yeah, it definitely did.
we take those.
Yeah, we were just noting like how small, or what looked like such a small piece of roof that you were getting the actual step-up animation for.
Yeah,
Um,
it is quite small.
Yeah, but I'm thankful that the roof is that jacked up, so that way you were able to get it.
Yep.
Thank you, 100 years of calamity. But GG's, it was incredible watching you all run and race. Rose, Smitch, Lumina, Storewide, Coency, Rethrix. Yeah, it was amazing. I'll text so. Thank you, Prahaha. Oh, we're great.
Amazing times.
Really incredible showcase.
Thank you for commentating.
Absolutely. I enjoyed it a lot.
Thank you.
But yeah, if no one else has anything else, we'll pass it on to Siberian. Thank you, Crazy, for joining me. I appreciate you.
Oh, yeah, thank you for doing this with me, CBF.
Good morning.
Yeah, again, thank you to all of our runners. Without them, we couldn't show you any of these. And also thank you again, Crazy AZ and CBF, for commentating. The next qualification match is in 5 hours 15 minutes at 8 PM Eastern, also here on this channel. At the same time, here on ZSR, we also have a Grand Finals Game 2 in Zelda 2 Randomizer. And for tomorrow, we have the qualification race 6 of the Breath of the Wild Any % tournament at 3 PM Eastern. Another at 5 PM Eastern, we have the Minish Cap Randomizer Variety Tournament Season 3 Semifinals match. We are planning to do a Link's Awakening Switch Any % tournament run at 5 PM Eastern as well. And at 6 PM Eastern, we have our Ocarina of Time Randomizers Standard NA Weekly. For the rest of the weekend and for the rest of the week, please make sure to check our schedule.
I just noticed that Storwide's in the waiting room.
Sorry, what was what's that?
Storwide boss is in the waiting room. I don't know if he wants to do a
Oh,
quick.
oh yeah. Let's get him in real quick.
Hey, Storide, welcome in.
Hey,
GG
Storide.
on your round.
Jeez.
Sorry, I haven't seen you.
It's okay.
Got any quick thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, my run was like the same time as my first qualifier, except it was such a different run. I felt like I just lost like 2 minutes right at the end. I was on like 28 pace, which I don't know what that is in race time, but
Dang.
And then I died to Fire Blight Sads.
Yep. They're the
So-
worst.
Yeah, that was it for me.
Well, GG's on finishing, and yeah, hopefully your future ones go a little better.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but that's it.
Sweet.
So
Glad we
I
could get
guess
this one.
I guess we can finish the wrap up now. We are going to raid Zelda Speedrun's main channel. There is the first match of the Minish Cap Randomizer Variety Tournament semifinals match going on right now. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time here on ZSR.
Thank you for
See
the
you all later.
restream.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you once again to Siberian for the restream.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you,
Thank you.
Restreamer. Thank you all the people who calmed and ran. That was fun.
Good work,
Even though it
y'all.
was a little tilting at the end, it was still fun.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's how some of these races go. I think I've been super unhappy with the last two that I ran. But yeah, we got it, y'all.
Tell
Great
me about
work.
it.
Still got a lot more races.
As I rub my eyes, crying like, mine were okay. But I'm gonna head out. Y'all take it easy.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
and
you.
now
Thank
we
you
also
all.
really end the stream now. So I thought you wanted to say something before I go to the end screen. So, see you next time here on ZSR.
Bye.
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 Now we're off.